In this video, I will demonstrate how teachers can use web gradebooks to create spreadsheets to keep track of homework, assignments, tests, and quizzes. If you haven't already set up WebTess for your teachers, see our previous video called WebTess Setup Access for Teachers, and also watch the video for teachers entering end-of-term marks. To begin, I will sign in as a teacher with the username and password that has been assigned. When a teacher signs in, they will see this screen with their current classes. In this example, the school office has set up access for teachers so they see grades first. As an option, the school office can set up a message which teachers will see each time they sign in or switch to another class. To enter marks, click on the class. In this screen, the class list is displayed, including any previously entered marks. The report period appears at the top left. The school office controls which report periods can be accessed by the teachers. In a previous video, we demonstrated entering the end-of-term marks, work habits, and comments into the section on this left-hand side of the screen. On the right-hand side of the screen, it shows the spreadsheet for the gradebook columns. I'm going to click the Hide Marks button, which hides the end-of-term marks, so there's more room to see the gradebook columns. The spreadsheets are entirely under the control of each teacher. A spreadsheet can have up to 100 columns, and you can have up to 10 spreadsheets per class. Each of the spreadsheets in a class can be different from other spreadsheets for other classes. Some teachers like to have a separate spreadsheet for each term, while others prefer to have a single spreadsheet for the entire school year. When you first open a class, a basic spreadsheet is created with 10 columns. Click on the Gradebook menu and select Edit this spreadsheet. This shows the groups within the spreadsheet. By default, there are 5 groups: homework, classwork, tests, quizzes, and exam, each weighted at 20%. You can add or remove additional groups and change the weight of each group any way you like. If you click on a column heading, the column details are shown. You can change the column title, add a description, and assign the column to a group. You can set the maximum amount for the column. For example, if you have a homework assignment marked out of 20, you can mark the maximum out of 20. You can set the column weight within the group, so you can make some homework assignments worth more than others just by adjusting the weighting. You can also set the color of the column, and you can also adjust the column position by clicking on the arrows below, and then click Save when you're done. Let's set up some columns for homework. I click on the column headings and we'll make the required changes. Now I have 3 homework columns, and I can enter marks. When I move the mouse over the column heading, I can see the column weight and other details. This homework is out of 20. This homework column is out of 25. And this homework column is out of 50. Notice that as soon as I enter marks, the average column is calculated automatically. When I add marks to the second homework assignment, the average is based on both marks. But if a student has not completed an assignment, the average is based only on the completed marks. You can use EXC to indicate that the student is excluded from completing the assignment. Otherwise, you can mark a student with 0, which will be included in the average calculation. All marks that you enter through WebGradebook are saved instantly and automatically. To add columns, click the Add Column button. Enter the title and description and other details. You can select the group the column belongs to. You can change the number of columns and add several columns at once. When a new column is added, it is always added to the right-hand side of the spreadsheet. You can move columns by clicking on the column position setting for the column. Click on the column and then adjust the column position setting until it's in the position you want it to be. And then repeat that process for the other columns. To delete a column, click on the column heading that you want to delete, and then click the X button and confirm that you want to delete that column. You can copy and paste data from one column to another. Click on any column you want to copy, then click the Gradebook menu and choose Copy Column Data, and the column data has been copied. Then click on the column that you want to paste the data into, click the Gradebook menu and choose Paste Column Data. Now the data has been pasted into that column. You can also clear all the marks from a column. Click on the cell for the column that you want to delete or clear. Click the Gradebook menu and choose Cut Column Data. If you want to undo that, click the Gradebook menu again and choose Paste Column Data. If you want to assign the same mark to all students, just type in the mark you want to assign. Then click Gradebook and choose Fill all cells below selected cell. To add another spreadsheet, click the Gradebook menu and choose Add a new spreadsheet. You can then enter the name and groups for the new spreadsheet. You can have up to 10 spreadsheets per class. Some teachers like to have a separate spreadsheet for each term, while others prefer to have a single spreadsheet for the entire school year. Now I have two spreadsheets. I have the main spreadsheet that I started with and the new spreadsheet that I just created. You can copy spreadsheet layouts from one class to another. First, go to the class that you want to copy the spreadsheet from. So we'll go to Select Class, choose the other class, and then we'll go to the Gradebook menu and choose Edit this spreadsheet. Then click the Copy Layout button at the left side. The spreadsheet layout has now been copied. Now I go back to the class I want to paste the spreadsheet layout into. And I select the spreadsheet that I want to paste this layout into. I choose Gradebook and choose Edit this spreadsheet. Now I can click the Paste Layout button, and the program gives me the option of appending this layout to my existing spreadsheet, which has 10 columns, or overwriting the existing spreadsheet with the other data. I will choose Overwrite and click Yes. Now you can see the spreadsheet layout has been copied from the other class, but not the data, only the spreadsheet is copied over. If you want to create a new spreadsheet using the layout from another class, click the Gradebook menu and choose Add a new spreadsheet. Click Save to create the new spreadsheet. Now I have 3 spreadsheets. I can then go back to the Gradebook menu and choose Edit this spreadsheet, and then paste the layout that I had copied from the other class, and overwrite this. And so now I have 3 spreadsheets. There are several reports you can print in the Gradebook program. Click the Gradebook menu and choose Print Groups and Columns for a summary of the class data. Select the columns that you want to print, or choose Select All to choose all the columns, and then click Print. I'll run through that again. Go to Gradebook, go to Print Groups and Columns, select the columns that you want to print, and click Print. This report prints a summary of the columns that you have, which includes the calculated weight for each column, the average for the class, and then the overall values and weights for each column and the average for each. Click the Gradebook menu and choose Print Class Lists to print the class list with any selected data. Choose the columns you want to print, including the average if you wish, and choose the order in which you want the report sorted, usually by name, but you can also print by number, or you can print by any of the selected columns. Then click Print. To print separate reports for selected columns, click the Gradebook menu and choose Print by Class, Selected Columns. Now you can select the columns you want to print, click Print, and the program will print a separate class list with each column on a separate page. To print lists of students in the class with missing data, click the Gradebook menu and choose Print by Class, Missing Data. Choose the columns you want to print, click Print, and the program will print the class list of students missing marks from the selected columns. To print individual student reports, click the Gradebook menu and choose Print Student Report. Select the students you want to print. You can choose Select All or Clear All and make individual selections. Select the columns you want to print, and then click Print. You can also print term marks and comments with those reports as well. For example, I can go to Gradebook, Print Student Report, select a student and some columns, and then check the option to print terms and marks and comments and click Print. Now this report includes the end of term mark and any other comments that I've entered in for this student. To print individual reports for students missing data, click the Gradebook menu and choose Print by Student Missing Data. Select the students you want to print and the columns you want to check, and then click Print. The report will print for each student the columns that they are missing data for. At the end of the term, you can copy the average mark into the mark column. I'll click the Show Marks button so you can see the marks for the end of term. Then I will switch to the report period that I want to copy the marks into. Then I click the Gradebook menu and choose Copy Average Column into Term Mark. This takes the calculated average mark and copies it into the mark column. The email function is controlled by the school office. To use this function, the school office must enable access for teachers and enter the students' or parents' email addresses into the program. This function allows teachers to send emails to any students in their class. Click the email button, choose the students, type in any message you want, and then click Send to send the email message. You can also email any report to students. For example, you can click Gradebook and choose Print Student Report. Select the students you'd like to send their report to, and select the columns that you want to include in the report. And then you can click the Send button and the report will be emailed to those students.